Hello students, this is Taranum Jahan. Hope you people are well over there. So let's begin with a new chapter. We are starting with a new chapter from your geography. So let's start the new chapter from geography. So here the new chapter is drainage. This is from your NCRT for the class 9th from geography chapter 3. Now see what is drainage. Drainage is nothing but the main hole. The one thing after listening to this word, the image which has come into your mind is nothing but the main hole. I know it very well. So here it is not the main hole. We are not discussing anything regarding the main holes. We are discussing here the drainage. Under this chapter, we are discussing regarding the river system, how the rivers are flowing in India, the different ways, the tributaries and the distributaries. Now, what is tributaries and the distributaries? Here, there are before flowing one big river, there are various other rivers that joins that big river is nothing but the tributaries. Then one after becoming one big river, when it moves down to various other states with the different names, it is called as distributaries. So here the tributaries and distributaries, I think it is very clear. I'll definitely explain you with a diagram in the next slide. So here the next is, what is river basin? The river basin is nothing but they are drained by the river along with its tributaries and distributaries into one big ocean. Along with the distributaries and the tributaries, one big river, when it flows down to a one big oceanic tub, is nothing but drainage basin. Then what is water divided? You see, for example, I'll give you an example in order to explain the water divide. If the land is plain, it is just a flat land, then the water will go, if the water is flowing, it will go to any direction wherever the water wants, because the land is flat. There is no direction for the water to move where it wants to, so it will move to various other directions. But if a land is just in a mountainic shape, in a middle, if it is a little bit upward like it is given in the figure, if it is in the mountainic shape, then the water will divide into two portions, in the east and the west, and start flowing in that way. If the water is flat, it will go to the various other directions. But if the land is just in a middle, if it is a bit elevated, then the water will flow towards the east or a west side, is nothing but water divide. Now see the figure over here in order to understand the tributary and the distributary. Before that, even see the arrows. See these, the small rivers, they are flowing from the upward and joining one big river. Then again it is forming into the small rivers are becoming a one big river at the end. One last arrow you see, they have become to the one big river and flowing towards the big ocean. So here the small rivers which are joining in order to make one big river is nothing but tributary. And in the next figure, if you see that one big river is forming various other small rivers, is called as distributary. So this is the difference between the tributary and the distributary. This is just vice versa, opposite. Then the tributaries and the distributaries, some differences have been given to you. Read it properly. It can be asked in your exams or it can be asked as per the question. So you should know what is tributary and what is distributary, what is the difference between that. So you just read it, you will understand what the tributary and distributary. I have explained you the main difference of it. Now what is drainage system in India? Drainage system is influenced by the physical features of the subcontinent. Here the subcontinent is very important. Why it is called as subcontinent? Because it is not necessary that the rivers are flowing in India only. Even in the subparts like Pakistan, Afghanistan and China, many of the rivers that are flowing from those countries are joining in India too. So that is the reason why drainage system of India is mainly controlled by the subcontinents. It has been said subcontinents. So Indian rivers are divided into two major parts, that is the Himalayan River and the Peninsula Rivers. And what are the Himalayan rivers? The rivers that are originating from the Himalayan mountains are called as Himalayan River. And the rivers that are originating from the Peninsula Plateau That is nothing but the triangular shape of the India, the Peninsula Plateau. So the triangle shape, the Peninsula Plateau, the rivers originating from that Peninsula Plateau is called as Peninsulas Rivers. Drainage system in India. Now here we are talking about the Himalayan rivers, how the Himalayan rivers are flowing from the Himalaya to the down when it is going down towards the ocean, mixing towards the ocean. So in whatever way this in what way these rivers are moving and joining the oceanic delta. So let's see how it is moving. So if you see, if there is a heavy rain in the Himalayan mountains, how the river flows, it flows towards the complete area. The whatever the area has been given after the Himalayan mountain, it flows towards a complete area, and while flowing due to the heavy rain, it forms mandays. Mandays is nothing but the shape of a snake. So if you see the diagram, you can see the shape of the snakes have been made by these rivers when it is flowing down from the Himalayan. It is nothing but the mandays. It is called as mandays. So due to heavy rain, when the river changes the route, when river changes the route of flowing, is called as Oxbow Lake. So here if you see Oxbow Lake in the diagram, you can know that how the river has changed the route. From the upward it is flowing from one direction, and suddenly coming down towards, it has changed the direction to the Oxbow Lake, forming some other different direction. So while it is moving and mixing it with the other ocean, it makes delta. See here, while mixing, it has made a delta. If you see the diagram, you can see the diagram from different rivers. It is flowing down, making an Oxbow Lake, channels. Then again, before joining it to the ocean, it is forming a delta. Delta is nothing but a one big ocean. Then after that, forming into a different routes. It has been made into different routes called as delta. Drainage pattern. Now what is drainage pattern? Drainage pattern is in which the river flows. So depending on the slope of the land and underlying rocks, if whatever the rocks have been placed below the land, the structure as well as the climatic condition depends upon the drainage pattern. So all these things, the climate, the rocks which are there, the structure of the rocks below the land and the slope of the land, all this decides the drainage pattern of the river. So there are four drainage pattern, that is dendritic, trellis, rectangular and radical. So let's see one by one what is dendritic, trellis, rectangular and radical. Now the dendritic pattern are the river which flows in the slope of terrain. If you see the branches of the tree is nothing but in a dendritic form. So wherever the river gets a slope, it flows. For example, like river Ganga. Then comes your trellis. Trellis it flows about the hard and the soft rocks. They exist parallel to each other. The hard rock is placed, then the soft rock is placed, then the hard rock is placed, then soft rock is placed. So they are just parallel to each other. So the tributaries are joined at a right angle. Like when the river is flowing, it does not have that much power that it can move the hard rock. So it moves the soft rock which is parallelly shifted. So while moving the soft rock, again it makes the triangular right angle. It makes the shape of a right angle whenever it moves out. When it is moving, the parallel soft rock which is placed just parallel to the hard rock. So while moving this parallel soft rock, it is forming a right angle shape. Right angle is nothing but the 3 o'clock, how the clock shows the 3. So in that way the this trellis flows. Then comes your rectangular. It develops on the strongly joined rock terrain. So now when the hard rock is there, it will just drain as per the slope. One complete hard rock is there, just a flat hard rock if you say. Then if there is no slope, then it will the water will flow in whatever way it wants. It finds the turns, again it drains out wherever it finds the turns and twist. Then comes your radicals. This river flowing from the central peak of the different direction. So if center point is elevated, I already said you this the direction. When the land is a bit elevated from the middle, then the river flows from either on the east side or the west side. So the center point is elevated from there. The river flows to the different directions is nothing but your radicals. So the example over here, the glaciers which are there, which are formed on the peak of the mountain, when they are this melting it out, they are forming a radicals. They are moving down towards by forming a radical, the glaciers which they are melting. Now, the two major rivers that are found in India are the Himalayan rivers and the Peninsula Rivers. So, the Himalayan rivers, the three major rivers over here are the Indus, Ganga, and Brahmaputra. And the Peninsula rivers that we are having is Narmada, Tapi, Godavari, and so on. So, now the Himalayan rivers, they origin from Himalayas. They are perennial in nature. Perennial in the sense it never gets dry, because it gets water from the rain, snow melting from the peak, and these are the long peak oceans like the Ganga, Indus, and Brahmaputra. Then the Peninsula Rivers, they origin from the Peninsula Plateau. That is a triangle shape. I said the triangle shape which is found in the Indian map is nothing but the Peninsular Plateau, from where whichever the river is flowing is called as the Peninsular Rivers, and they are seasonal. They get dries up when there is no rain, because it gets water only from the rain, and and slow down when, or it dries up when the water is not going through, or when it is not raining. And it is short rivers, very small rivers. The perennial rivers are not that big as the Himalayan rivers, and they are mostly originated from the Western Ghats, and they move towards the Bay of Bengal. For example, this Godavari, Krishna, etc. Only Narmada and Tapati are the two main perennial rivers which flows into the Arabian Sea. If you see the map, you will definitely understand this. Only these two perennial rivers are the only rivers which are flowing to the Arabian Sea, rather than all the other perennial rivers are flowing towards the Bay of Bengal. So here is the comparison between the Himalayan rivers and the Peninsula River. There are some more points you can add under this. These are the few points. For an example, I have given you this Himalayan River and the Peninsula River. Now just have a look at the map, and you can see that how these Himalayan rivers and the Peninsula Rivers are flowing. The Himalayan big rivers, you see the Indus, Ganga, and the Brahmaputra, how it is flowing from the Himalayan mountains. And see the perennial rivers, that the triangle shape, all the rivers which are there within that peninsula plateau is nothing but the Peninsula River. And if you see the movement of the Narmada and Tapati, how it is moving towards the Arabian Sea, and the other rivers are flowing towards the Bay of Bengal. All you see, the Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri, Mahanadi, all these rivers, they are flowing towards the Bay of Bengal, whereas only the Narmada and Tapati are the river which are flowing towards the Arabian Sea. So these are the rivers, the Peninsular Rivers and the Himalayan Rivers. Now let's see one by one the Himalayan rivers, and we'll also discuss the Peninsular Rivers. So first let us see the Himalayan rivers. So the river system is called as, what is river system first of all? The rivers along with its tributaries is called as river system. So here we are going to study each and every big rivers and the small rivers, their river system. Along with these tributaries, we are going to study each and every river now. So the first one is the Indus River. So the Indus River, it flows from Tibet to Jammu and Kashmir. From Jammu and Kashmir, it is flowing towards Pakistan and flowing down to Arabian Sea. Now the tributaries of the Indus River is Jhelum, Chenab, Ravi and Satluj, and the total length of the Indus River is 2,900 kilometer, and this is one of the longest river of the world. India and Pakistan have distributed Indus River water according to the Indus Water Treaty in 1960, because this river is shared by both the India and Pakistan. Now the next is the Ganga River. The headwater of the Ganga are called as Bhagirathi. It is formed with the Gangotri glaciers. Now here the Ganga River flows from Uttarakhand. If you see the map, you will see from the Uttarakhand it is moving towards the West Bengal, and then from West Bengal it is moving down towards the Bay of Bengal. The tributaries while the Ganga River is flowing is formed are Yamuna, Ghagra and Coast. and the length of the Ganga River is 2500 kilometer. And the complete northern agriculture depends upon this Ganga River completely. Totally, the northern agriculture is dependent upon this Ganga River. Then the Ganga is joined by Brahmaputra and form a river called Meghna, which flows through the Bangladesh to reach the Bay of Bengal. The delta formed when the Ganga and the Brahmaputra flows into the Bay of Bengal is known as Sundarban Delta. If you see the map, before joining to the Bay of Bengal, many distributaries have been formed with this Ganga river. That is distributaries which is forming before joining towards the Bay of Bengal is called as delta, and this delta is named as Sundarban Delta. Now the last Himalayan river is the Brahmaputra River. Now you see the map and see the blue color which is flowing down towards the Bay of Bengal. This is nothing but the Brahmaputra River. Now the Brahmaputra River is originating from the Tibet. From Tibet it is joining to the India, from India to Bangladesh, and from Bangladesh it is moving down towards the Bay of Bengal. While moving down towards the Bay of Bengal, it forms one of the biggest delta called as Sundarban Delta with, with the help of Ganga River. Now the Brahmaputra has a braided channel in its entire length in Assam to form many riverine islands. And these riverine islands are one of the biggest islands when compared to the world. Unlike other northern Indian rivers, the Brahmaputra is marked by the huge deposits of silts on its bed, causing the riverbed to rise. So this is nothing but the Brahmaputra River. Now let's see the Peninsula Rivers. These Peninsula Rivers are found in the Peninsula Plateau, and if you see the Western Ghats form the main water divide in the Peninsular India. The major rivers which are found in the Peninsula region are, see the map, Mahanadi, Narmada, Tapi, Godavari, Krishna and Kaveri. And if you see the Narmada and Tapi river, they drain into the Arabian Sea. They form the estuaries. Estuaries are nothing but, see, many rivers before joining towards the ocean, they were making deltas. But here the Narmada and Tapi don't make any kind of a deltas. They directly join to the Arabian Sea. So that is the reason why it is called as they are forming estuaries. These estuaries are directly forming. Any river which is directly flowing towards the ocean without making any delta is called as estuaries. Then the drainage basin of the Peninsular River, then compared to the others, are very small in size. Now let's talk about the first peninsular river, that is the Narmada Basin. Now if you see the map, you will see that the Narmada River is originating from the Madhya Pradesh from Amarkantak Hills. This Narmada River, it flows from the Amarkantak Hills to the George at Marble Rocks near Jabalpur. It is flowing from the Madhya Pradesh to the Jabalpur. From there it is flowing from the Marble Rocks at the George. Then from there it is also moving towards the Dhuadhar Falls. It is one of the beautiful pictographical location when it is falling towards the Dhuadhar Falls near the river jumps over the steep rocks. It is one of the beautiful location of Dhuadhar Falls. And while flowing the Narmada Basin, it is covering the few states, that is from Madhya Pradesh to Gujarat, and from Gujarat it is flowing down towards the Arabian Sea. So the next peninsular river is the Tapi Basin. Now if you see the map and see that the Tapi River is originating from Madhya Pradesh, that is in Betul, somewhere in the Satpura ranges. It also flows in the Rift Valley. Just see the Tapi and Narmada, they are just parallel to each other, but the Tapi River is shorter than compared to the Narmada River. And Tapi flows through the basins that covers Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat and Maharashtra. Then it is flowing towards the Arabian Sea. So the Narmada and the Tapi are the two peninsular rivers that are flowing towards the Arabian Sea. So the next peninsular river is the Godavari Basin. The Godavari is the largest peninsular river and its length is around 1500 km. If you see the map, it rises from the slope of Western Ghats in the Nasik district of Maharashtra, and from the Maharashtra it goes towards the Madhya Pradesh, from Madhya Pradesh to Odisha, and from Odisha to Andhra Pradesh, and from there it drains into the Bay of Bengal. Because of the length of the Godavari, it is also known as Dakshin Ganga. Next peninsular river is the Mahanadi Basin. The Mahanadi rises in the highlands of Chhattisgarh. See where's the Mahanadi? So here it starts from the highlands of Chhattisgarh. The length of this river is around 860 km. Its drainage basin is shared by Maharashtra, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand and Orissa. The next is the Krishna Basin. The Krishna Basin rises from the spring of Mahabaleshwar. See the map? Krishna Basin. It is rising from the spring of Mahabaleshwar and the length of this river is about 1400 km. Its drainage basin is shared by Maharashtra, Karnataka and Andhra Pradesh. Then the last is the Kaveri Basin. The Kaveri rises in the Brahmagiri range of Western Ghats. See the Kaveri river in the map. The total length of this river is about 760 km. Its basin drains the parts of Karnataka, Kerala and Tamil Nadu. Beside these major rivers, there are some smaller rivers flowing towards the east. Some of them are like the Damodar, the Brahmani, the Baitrani and Subarnarekha. Lakes. India has many lakes. These lakes differ from each other in size and other characteristics. Most lakes are permanent. Some contains water only during the rainy season and some lakes are the result of the action of glaciers and ice sheets, that is melting of glaciers and the ice sheets, they form lakes. So some have been formed by the wind action or some have been formed by the human activities, that is human made lakes. So these lakes are attractive for the tourists in the place like Srinagar and Nainital. The meandering rivers, meandering is nothing but the shape which has been formed by the river while flowing, a snake shape is nothing but a meandering river across a flood plain forms a cutoff. That cutoff is called as Oxobo Lake. Oxobo Lake is changing the route of the river is called as Oxobo Lake. So this, by changing the route, this river on the plain cutoff, while changing the direction of the river, they forms a Oxobo lakes. So here the lakes, the region in the inland drainage are sometimes seasonal. For example, like the Sambar Lake in Rajasthan is a saltwater lake which is used for producing salt. Then most of the freshwater lakes in Himalayan regions, they are of glacial origin. They formed due to the melting of glaciers. The Vular Lake in the Jammu and Kashmir is a result of tectonic activity, which is the largest freshwater lake in India. And some other important freshwater lakes are like Dal Lake, Bhimtal, Nainital, Loktak and Barapani. These are the lakes which are the freshwater lakes. And some are salty lakes, like in the Rajasthan you are having a salt lake, that is the Sambar lake, which is used for producing salt. So this is the different types of the lakes which are found in India. So in this chapter we have seen the two division of the rivers in India, that is the Himalayan River and the Peninsula River, and we have discussed each the three major big Himalayan rivers. We have discussed all the peninsular basins that are found in the peninsular region, all the peninsular river that are flowing in the peninsular region, and we have seen the lakes, how these lakes have been formed through the melting of the glaciers. Now let us see the importance of these lakes, the importance of these rivers in the economy, and how we are polluting these rivers. So let's see one by one the importance of the lakes. So lakes are very useful to the human being in many ways. Like lake helps us in generating electricity, it controls the flow of water, they moderate the climate, and they even excite the tourists towards them because these lakes are very beautiful, and it maintains the aquatic system as we find variety of the fishes, seals, etc. in the lakes, which creates more beauty in the nature. Then in the same manner we have a role of river in the that has been played in the economy. Then how the river is so important for the Indian economy. River also increases the tourist by, like, we are having a river rafting, for even for the ritual visiting we do visit the rivers, so it helps in increasing the tourism. Then it helps in the agriculture, it also generate the electricity, we do get drinking water out of these rivers, and out of this many of the rivers have been used for the cooking purpose even. So in this way the role of the river has been played, very important for the human being. And then how we are polluting this river, though these things are so important in our life, but still we are not taking care of this natural thing which have been given by the nature, the lakes and the rivers which have been given to us by the nature. Some of the lakes might be a man-made one, but usually the lakes are the nature's gift, which are attracting the tourists, which is helping in the increasing the Indian economy, but still we are polluting this rivers and the lakes. The how we are going to how we are polluting these rivers, the quality of the river water is affected by the growing domestic municipal industries and the agriculture demand. All the industrial waste is flowing towards this river, so these rivers are being affected by the industrial wastage. The heavy load of untreated sewage of the industrial influent are emitted into the rivers. The same point, the concern over rising pollution in our rivers led to the launching of various action plans to clean the rivers, but still it is in vain. Still we are polluting it. Though the actions have been taken place in order to clean the rivers, but still we are being seen the rivers are polluting by the industries, by the this agricultural sewages, and all just this is done by the humans. We, the human animals, we have polluting these rivers and making the hell not only to the human life but even the aquatic life has been affected by the pollution of the rivers. Now with this we have finished the chapter, and these are some of the important questions that you have to answer with the help of this PPT. So do try to answer these questions with the help of the PPT, as each and everything has been very clear to you all people in the PPT and the explanation too. I hope so you people will able to answer all the questions. And this is the map work. You have to do it in on the Indian map and use the only rivers map of India, and try to mark all these lakes, the Himalayan rivers and the Peninsula Rivers. So here the first one is done to you. Just for an example, like this type of the questions will be asked in the examination, and you have to find out the answer then mark it. So the first one is done to you so that you should not search the answer. The answers have been given to you. The remaining, the Himalayan and the Peninsula River, it has been explained that how many Peninsula Rivers you people are having, how many Himalayan Rivers we Indians are having. All these rivers has to be marked in the Indian map. And the map example has been given to you. Use only this map while marking the rivers and the lakes.